Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of Review from Tracy's Point, and we are here to recap Love and Marriage Huntsville, Episode 2, Season 1, which was titled Respectful Cheating. So it's the day after the dinner with Kimmy and Maurice, and so Melody is trying to talk business, but Martell is still on the dinner. So he lets her know that he felt that the conversation was out of line and that she went way too far, trying to put him on the spot. And so Melody is trying to act all innocent and says that she thought it was a great question, but Martell says that it felt like it was a personal attack on him. So the two of them are so confusing because if you cheated, you cheated. And I agree when he says that if they chose to move on from the infidelity, then she needs to let it go. But instead, she wants to keep going on and trying to bring the group into it. Then again, he seems like he's still kind of in denial. So I don't know how they can heal from it if he isn't willing to acknowledge or accept the fact that he actually cheated on her. So over with Marsau and Tisha, they are silly also. Okay, so Tisha is excited about Kimmy's bridal shower, but Marsau isn't really interested. He doesn't seem to be interested in anything that she has to say or that she has going on, if we were to be honest. So somehow the conversation turns to Martell and Melody. Girl, all these M's is driving me crazy. So she tells Marsau that the streets be talking and that Martell has a whole other boo thing on the other side of town. So Tisha wants Marsau to fess up and admit that he knew about the affair or he knows about what's going on. And Marsau was like, hashtag I'm a man, which means men admit nothing. They gonna hold it down. They gonna hold it down, keep the secret. They ain't giving up the goods about themselves or about what their friends are doing. So Marsau says that Martell needs to write a book about how to cheat respectfully, because that was one of the comments that Martell had made at the dinner. And then Tisha instructs him, like, you need to go talk to Martell and ensure that everything is okay between him and Melody. So then we go to Maurice and Kimmy. So they're having the same conversation as Tisha and Marsau. They want to know like what's going on with Melody and Martell. And so Maurice says that Melody snatched Martell's pants off at the dinner table the night before. And Kimmy says that there are rumors going around town about Martell having, another woman, but Maurice says that he knows nothing about it. Once again, men admit nothing, and says that Martell did look shook the night before. So Kimmy says that Melody is hurt and trying to work through, what's going on the best way she knows how, and that's why she's kind of like trying to bring it to the group to get some support and perspective. And so Maurice says that there has to be a better way to cheat. And then Maurice, I'm thinking like, you need to shut up, okay? Because you get ready to get married in a few weeks or a couple of months. And Kimmy gonna mess around here and cancel that wedding with your way of thinking. So Kimmy, questions him on how he can even say that there's a better way of cheating. Then he pulls out the whole men don't have an emotional attachment when they cheat, but when a woman cheats, she has to be feeling something. But I'm thinking in 2019, ain't nobody got no emotional attachment to anything, because everybody out here just doing whatever they want to with whomever they want to and not caring about how it's affecting their home, their spouses, their kids, or anything else. So Martell and Marsau are out at the lot. They're clearing the trees off the lot, that the combat group is going to build these two houses on. So a woman named Andrea arrives, and we learn that she is the architect and a longtime friend of Martell's. Now, this scene to me seemed a little forced, but gives us a reminder, about the background and purpose of the comeback group. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. The vibes that I was getting from Miss Andrea was that she may be the person that Martell is having this affair with. Like, she's all homely. She got no makeup. She had her hair in twists or either braids. And then they like went around her head and then came down, and it wasn't like twists or braids with extensions in the hair. it was her natural hair that was twisted around her head and hanging down in her face. And I'm thinking she would be the least likely person that anyone would suspect that Martell would be cheating with, because she wasn't real skinny and fashionable like Melody, wasn't wearing makeup, didn't have her hair, hair laid, dyed and fried and laid to the side and all of that. She just looked like somebody that probably would listen to Martell, that would, boost his ego, do whatever he wants. Now that was just my perspective, okay? Like, Andrea, if you're watching this video, don't come and kill me, girl. But that was just what I thought. Like, Lord, don't let this turn out that Andrea is the side chick. So after Andrea leaves, Marsau brings up the comments that Melody had made at the dinner. And he says, if there was an issue between the two of them and they're having problems, then it could affect the group. So he needs to know that him and Melody are okay. So Martell admits that there was an issue a year ago, but all is good. And then Marsau isn't buying it and says that if it's all good, why is Melody still talking about it? So after Martell leaves, then Marsau gets on the phone and he calls Maurice and says that Martell did admit to having an affair, and then Maurice says that he thinks that all the guys should get together and talk so that they can be reassured that this is something that happened a year ago, it's over and done with, and everything is okay. So it's the day of the bridal shower, and Tisha's all excited, that she's getting married and everything. And so they're decorating the clubhouse to get ready. And the clubhouse kind of looked like it might have been at a church or something. So back at the house, Kimmy is getting dressed, and Maurice has, he laying in the bed, totally forgot about the bridal shower. And so he's questioning Kimmy as to why she's wearing this short sequin romper. And I'm thinking okay, she was a little overdressed. She was dressed more like she was getting ready to go to the club. So he's all turned on by her and was like, okay, skip the bridal shower and come jump in the bed with me. And of course, she's shaking her butt in his face and everything, but she's like, no, I'm going to my bridal shower. So it was so interesting that when she does get to the bridal shower, which I said was in the middle of the day, it looked like it was at a church or a clubhouse or something. But everybody that was at the bridal shower, they looked like they came from the church. They were dressed, really dressed down for an afternoon tea party, not dressed the way that Kimmy was dressed. And so we get to meet her mom, and then once again, this was another awkward scene. And I'm thinking it's awkward because these are obviously people not used to being in front of the camera, and they're trying to have these probably scripted conversations to keep the show flowing. So halfway through the event, Tisha brings up the fact that Melody isn't there and that she had RSVP'd for the event. And so Kimmy says that she's a little disappointed that and feels that Melody was being selfish by not coming to the shower. So we get to see Melody, and Melody is out riding in her Range Rover and says that she is feeling very emotional and believes that her marriage is on the rocks. So then we go over to the guys, and they've gotten together and they're at the car wash. And so Marsau is in his company truck. And one thing I noticed about Marsau is that he is always branding his business. Everything he wears, he wears polo shirts all the time with the company logo on it. He had the car wash, obviously on a Saturday, washing the company truck instead of washing his personal vehicle. And one thing I also noticed about all three of the guys is that they all drive white vehicles. So Marsau's company truck was white. Martell has a BMW, which was white. And then Maurice was driving what looked like one of those Mercedes, those really expensive Mercedes box Jeeps. And it was white and was black on the top. Not 100% sure it was a Mercedes, but that's what it looked like. So Marsau brings up the dinner and tries to get Martell to understand that the matter isn't settled for Melody, and that's why she brought it up. And Martell says that people won't stop talking about the affair and keep bringing it up and gossiping and bringing stuff back to her, I guess, saying that he's still messing with the lady and that that's why the whole thing won't die down. But he's doing everything that he can do to prove to her that the affair is over and that she has nothing to worry about. So Martell says that they were sitting down and her mom was there. No, they asked him how did Melody find out. So he said they were at the house sitting down and that either her mom was there or his mom was there. And so he said his phone kept ringing and he wouldn't answer the phone. So then finally Melody grabbed the phone and answered the phone. And so Melody talked to the lady, like while they were all sitting there in front of the mom. He said he was like so embarrassed. And then the two of them decided that they were going to meet for lunch, sit down, talk everything over. And of course, Maurice and Marsau are looking at him like, what the hell? Like, how did you even let this thing go from the conversation, like Melody answering the phone, to Melody actually meeting with the other woman? But Martell says that Melody is the best woman he knows and he made a mistake and that he done put all this behind him and now she need to do the same thing. So Marsau and Maurice know that Martell is being truly delusional. And so Martell says that Melody wasn't spending time taking care of family or giving him sex, so he found it somewhere else, which is the typical excuse that men use when they cheat. And so I'm sitting there thinking like Melody is the typical woman who agrees to stay after the affair, but then can't get over the affair. So now she's beginning to question, his every move and everything that he does. So she ends up going to his mom's house to get the mom's opinion. So evidently, maybe it was Melody's mom that was at the house that night, because when she was talking to Martell's mom, it seemed as though she was trying to give enough information for Martell's mom to pick up on the fact that he had cheated on her. But Mama Hope wasn't trying to hear it, okay? She was like, girl, I'm getting ready to go down to the dog track and bet on these dogs. Now hurry up and get this out your system or whatever it is that you tried to tell me. So Melody talking about, he went to the Home Depot, but he didn't have on work clothes. I'm thinking, girl, people go to the Home Depot from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night, and they don't always have on work clothes. Like, everybody at the Home Depot don't work in construction, because I know I spend a great amount of time at the Home Depot, and I go to the Home Depot in whatever I'm wearing at that particular time. And so the mom was looking at her like, okay. So then she's talking about how he go to the gym late at night. I mean, she's just stuff that she's conjuring up in her mind that's driving her crazy. And so the mom is like, do you trust him or not? Because that's what it comes down to. So Melody's crying and beating around the bush, like, don't want to say, no, I don't trust him. But I'm like, what does she expect his mom to say? Because the mom is going to stand by her son regardless. And so the mom is basically like, either you're going to stay or you're going to leave. Like, stop beating yourself into the ground. Stop feeling bad about yourself. So Melody asked if she would stay with someone she didn't trust, and the mama was like, no, I wouldn't. So I don't know what Melody's supposed to do with that information. So then they go to the park, and Martell is at the park with the kids, and so Melody shows up and wants to talk to him about their situation. So he's sending the kids off. Now they got little kids, so I'm thinking one of the producers or somebody was there with them and took the kids off so they could film this little scene. So she tells him that she went to see his mom, and Martell, is like, oh Lord. So she takes the mom's advice and talks to Martell about how she's feeling, and she brings up the clothes he was wearing when he went to the Home Depot, and he tells her that she could have come to the Home Depot, if she was feeling some kind of way, that she could have gone to work out with him, like if it bothers her that he goes to work out at night. And so she says that she wants to trust him when he's away from her. So I'm like, girl, if a man is going to cheat on you, he will find the opportunity, whether it's 6 o'clock in the morning, if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, if it's 10 o'clock at night. A man will get up at midnight and say he's going to the store for a soda and swing by the side chick house. So you cannot be spending your whole life, like every time he's not in your presence, wondering and scared that he's with this other woman. Either you're going to cheat, trust him, or you're not going to trust him. So Martell pulls out some flowers and a love letter, and they're sitting on the swing, and he gives her the flowers and then reads the letter. And I'm thinking, okay, this was really cute and really sweet. But how did you know Melanie was coming to the park? Because you was there with the kids and y'all were dressed like y'all were going to the park, but Melanie had on a business suit and high heels. But anyway, and Melanie was supposed to have been going to the bridal shower, which was the game plan that y'all had talked about the night before. So I don't know how this whole scene took place. And so, what else happened? And I think that was it. And this is one thing that I noticed about the episodes of the show. They just come to an abrupt end. Like, we don't, like, you'll be looking at your watch saying, okay, well, is it 11 o'clock? Yeah, because they'll just end. So I think on this episode, it ended with her reading the letter, and then they get up and walk off to go back to the car. I guess forgot that their kids was out there. And so that was it for me. Leave your comments below, rate the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And until the next time, I shall talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.